Hi everyone, it's Sarah here. Hope you're doing well. It's a nice sunny day and the lockdown is getting relaxed, so things are happening. It's moving, it's changing. It's quite exciting. Anyway, in this video I'd like to talk to you about starseeds. Like, what is a starseed and are you one? I've got a pretty different opinion really to some other people about what it is. So the normal understanding of what a starseed is a soul that's come from a different galaxy, a different star system, a different universe, and they have incarnated into Earth at this time to help with the Earth's ascension process, which we are in the full flow of at the moment. Earth is ascending from 3 dimensions to a 5th dimension, which basically means the dimensions are kind of stacked on top of each other. The 3rd dimension is like solid objects on the Earth that we perceive, that we perceive that the table is hard and a tree is solid and things stay where they are. And in the 5th dimension, it's more about understanding that everything is energy, that nothing is solid or stable, it's just our perception of it. And it's kind of, there's less duality, so there's less right and wrong, evil and good, and that kind of stuff. But anyway, I'm not going to talk about what the 5th dimension is. I'm talking about starseeds. So starseeds have incarnated now to help the Earth with this process of upgrading and evolving. So my take is like, I don't believe, even though I believe there are people who identify as starseeds, and I am one, often these people will feel like they literally have come from a different planet. They will be really interested in the stars, in UFOs. They possibly will have had contact with UFOs and have seen them. They feel like they're not at home on Earth. They feel like they're different, they think different, they feel different, just like a completely different species to the average human. They're quite often really sensitive and will have psychic skills, be able to perceive things in a kind of, in a different, more open way. And yeah, they'd be really curious about different planets and different worlds and different beings and the different dimensions and planes of existence and consciousness and what happens when we die and where do we go, all that kind of stuff. If you've been interested in that kind of stuff, usually from childhood, then you probably are what is known as a starseed. But for me, I don't believe that some people have come from a different galaxy and have incarnated on Earth and others are just from Earth. I don't feel that it can be that black and white. I feel probably that every soul that is on Earth has had experiences with other galaxies. So I think everyone really is a starseed. Obviously some people probably feel more connected or have just a more direct kind of communication with that part of their soul, but I don't think that it's a completely separate group of beings from humans. I do believe that there's kind of like a reincarnation trap around the Earth, so that souls might find it difficult to escape the Earth plane and keep reincarnating on Earth and until they kind of have learnt the lessons here and evolved, or have managed to find a way to leave this kind of reincarnation grid that is placed around the Earth. And so it's obviously harder for those people to feel connected to other stars and galaxies and stuff because they literally can't feel it. That part has been shut down for so long that it just doesn't feel like it's part of them. But I do feel that everyone has the same journey of the soul, and it's just whether it's being triggered to be remembered in this lifetime or not. And if you've been watching this video, then it probably has been triggered, and that's why you're interested in learning about things like starseeds and other planets and stuff. So my experience is I didn't feel at home on Earth, and I always had a longing to go to the desert. It felt really natural for me to be in the desert. I just had a calling to go there. And that's ever since I was a teenager, really. And then a few years ago, I got the opportunity to go because I'd learned that Sedona is a really spiritual, strong place. It has energy vortexes in the rocks there. And once I realised that, I was like, I'm definitely going. So I managed to go, and on the aeroplane, as I was flying in and I could see these rocks of near Arizona, I just started crying. I was so emotional, and literally that's never happened before. I don't normally start crying when I see a certain type of land, but I was just so moved because it felt like home. It just felt so good to be returning there, even though I'd never been before. It felt like home. The rocks, the formations, the colours of the rocks, and it just felt so familiar and so comforting to me. It was really quite extraordinary, the experience I had there. And while there, I did have a lot more contact with aliens and different beings from different galaxies, that it really cemented my belief. I had visions where I was kind of greeted from Earth by other beings in a UFO, and I was returning and reporting back what was kind of happening on Earth to them. So I was like their guide on Earth, or their reporter from Earth. And when I went back and told them, shared my experiences and connected with those beings, it just felt like family. It felt so welcoming, and yeah, it just felt right. And I knew that that was my star family, and that the place I most recognised or felt most familiar was a planet that looked like Arizona and Sedona and the rocks around there. So I'm pretty sure most of you have had experiences like that, and there may not be one area of the world that kind of pulls you like that. There may be many places. Like I have quite a strong pull to go to Egypt and learn about Egypt, and I think every time we go to these different places, it opens up the connection with our soul to that aspect of ourselves that we might not have recognized before. So it's really important to follow those inner hunches and ideas. You might just think, oh, it was, I feel like a nice holiday, but there's usually more to it if a certain area is pulling you so strongly. So if you want to talk about that anymore, I'd love to hear from you. You can check out my website at www.lightlanguage.co.uk, because I can draw soul pictures. I can tune into your soul, and I channel light language and will draw your soul on a piece of paper, and that will, when you look at it, it helps you remember your true origins and where you came from and your full self, really. Anyway, have a good day. Bye.